When they saw you for the first time, their eyes lit up as if they had finally found the missing piece of their heart. The tears that welled up were not just from joy, but from the overwhelming realization that they had been searching for you all along. Their heart raced uncontrollably the moment you stepped into view. It wasn't just the beauty they saw, but the soul connection they felt that brought tears to their eyes, making them believe in love at first sight. They had imagined this moment countless times, but nothing could prepare them for the reality. Seeing you in person stirred emotions they never knew existed, and the tears that followed were the silent testimony of their newfound love. As their eyes met yours, time seemed to stop. In that instant, they knew their life was about to change forever. Tears of gratitude and awe filled their eyes as they realized you were even more incredible than they had dreamed. The world faded away the moment they laid eyes on you. Overwhelmed by a wave of emotions, tears streamed down their face, for in you they saw not just a person, but a destiny. They were prepared for this meeting, but nothing could have prepared them for the intensity of their feelings. The tears they shed were the purest expression of the love that had been building inside them from the moment they first heard your voice. Seeing you was like a dream come true, but the tears that flowed were not just from happiness. They were from the realization that everything they had been through was leading them to this moment, to you. Their breath caught in their throat as they saw you for the first time. Tears filled their eyes, for they knew in that instant that they had found someone who would change their life forever. In their eyes, you weren't just beautiful, you were the epitome of everything they had ever hoped for. The tears that welled up were a reflection of the deep connection they felt with you, something that words could never fully express. They had always believed in love, but seeing you for the first time brought tears to their eyes as they realized they had finally found the one person who could make them believe in forever. Their first reaction to seeing you was one of utter amazement. The tears that followed were not just from the joy of finally meeting you, but from the overwhelming feeling that they had found the person who completes them. When they first saw you, their hearts skipped a beat. Tears filled their eyes as they realized that the person they had been searching for all their life was finally standing before them. They had waited so long for this moment, and when it finally came, the tears that filled their eyes were a testament to the overwhelming love and admiration they felt for you. Seeing you for the first time was like a jolt to their heart. The tears that flowed were from the realization that they had found someone who was not only perfect for them, but who also understood them on a soul-deep level. Their first sight of you brought tears to their eyes, not just because of your beauty, but because they saw in you a future filled with love, laughter, and endless possibilities. The moment they saw you, tears filled their eyes as they realized that you were everything they had ever wanted and more. It was a moment of pure, unadulterated emotion. Their reaction to seeing you was one of awe and wonder. The tears that followed were a reflection of the deep, soulful connection they felt with you, something they had never experienced before. They had dreamed of this moment for so long, but nothing could have prepared them for the reality of seeing you in person. Tears filled their eyes as they realized that you were everything they had ever wanted and more. When they first laid eyes on you, their hearts swelled with emotions they couldn't contain. Tears flowed freely as they realized that they had found someone who truly understood and accepted them. Their reaction to seeing you for the first time was one of pure joy. The tears that filled their eyes were a testament to the overwhelming love they felt for you, a love that was deeper than anything they had ever known. They had prepared for this moment, but nothing could have prepared them for the intensity of their feelings. The tears they shed were the purest expression of the love that had been building inside them from the moment they first heard your voice. Seeing you for the first time was a moment of pure magic. Tears filled their eyes as they realized that they had finally found someone who made their heart feel at home. Their first reaction to seeing you was one of disbelief. The tears that followed were from the overwhelming joy of realizing that you were not just a dream, but a beautiful reality. As they caught their first glimpse of you, it was as if the universe aligned. The tears that welled up were a mix of awe and gratitude, for they had never imagined that someone as extraordinary as you could walk into their life. Their breath hitched the moment their eyes landed on you. Tears filled their eyes, not just from your undeniable beauty, but from the deep, instinctual knowledge that you were someone they were destined to meet. They froze when they saw you, overwhelmed by a flood of emotions they hadn't anticipated. Tears streamed down their face as they realized they had been waiting for you their entire life without even knowing it. The first time they saw you, their heart knew what their mind couldn't yet comprehend. Tears glistened in their eyes as they felt an inexplicable pull towards you, a connection that was as deep as it was immediate. Seeing you in person was like being struck by lightning. Tears fell as they tried to process the overwhelming feeling of joy and destiny that enveloped them in that single, breathtaking moment. Their eyes widened in disbelief the moment you appeared before them. The tears that followed were an uncontrollable response to the realization that they had just encountered someone who would change their life forever. As you came into view, they felt their world tilt on its axis. Tears welled up as they recognized that this was no ordinary meeting, but the beginning of something profound, something that would alter their heart forever. When their gaze met yours for the first time, tears filled their eyes, not from sadness, but from the sheer magnitude of the emotions that surged within them. They knew they were witnessing the start of something truly special. The moment they saw you, everything else faded away. Tears began to flow as they were overwhelmed by the certainty that you were the missing piece of their soul, the person they had unknowingly been searching for. Seeing you was like a dream come true, but far more powerful. Tears fell as they realized that you were not just beautiful, but that you held the key to a future they had only dared to imagine. They had pictured this moment in their mind 1,000 times, but nothing could compare to the reality of seeing you. Tears flowed as they recognized that you were everything they had ever hoped for, and more. Their reaction to seeing you was so intense that it took them by surprise. Tears filled their eyes as they were overcome with the feeling that they had just found someone who would forever change the course of their life. When you walked into their life, it was like a jolt of electricity. The tears that followed were from the realization that they had just encountered someone who would forever hold a piece of their heart. They stood there, captivated by the sight of you, as tears welled up in their eyes. It wasn't just about your appearance, but the undeniable connection that sparked between you two, something they had never experienced before. Their heart pounded in their chest the moment they saw you. Tears filled their eyes as they realized that this was the person they had been waiting for, the one who would make everything else in life fall into place. Seeing you for the first time was like a wave crashing over them. The tears that followed were a mix of relief, joy, and an overwhelming sense that they had finally found the person who completed them. They had prepared themselves for this moment, but nothing could have prepared them for the emotions that surged when they saw you. Tears filled their eyes as they realized that you were the answer to all the questions they hadn't even asked. When they first saw you, it was like 1,000 emotions hit them all at once. Tears welled up as they recognized that you were the person who would bring light into the darkest corners of their life. The moment their eyes landed on you, time seemed to stand still. Tears streamed down their face as they realized that you were not just a person, but a profound experience that would shape their future in ways they couldn't yet comprehend. As they saw you for the first time, it felt like their soul had found its home. Tears filled their eyes as they were struck by the profound realization that you were the person they had been longing for all along. Their reaction to seeing you was one of pure, unfiltered emotion. Tears flowed as they realized that they had just found someone who would change their life in the most beautiful and unexpected ways. When their eyes met yours, tears filled their eyes as they felt an overwhelming connection that words couldn't describe. They knew in that moment that their life was about to change forever. The moment they saw you, it felt like everything else in the world disappeared. Tears filled their eyes as they realized that you were the person they had been waiting for, the one who would make their life complete.